Here's a step-by-step guide to HVAC quantity takeoffs. Before we measure anything, we first need to actually understand what is on a set of HVAC drawings and how to read and interpret them. Then we need to build our library of different assemblies and then perform our counts and our measurements. And I'll put a link in the video description to a complete library of different HVAC assemblies and a simple Excel template you can use to record your takeoffs. Okay, so first up, these drawings aren't actually going to mean much unless we can understand the different components shown. Now, for some of you who already have a good understanding of HVAC and mechanical works, you can skip ahead. But I think it's important to actually go through the different components of a system, and that'll make sense later on when we talk about what we should actually be measuring and what we can just derive from our primary quantities. So when we talk about mechanical or HVAC, we're really talking about the system that either heats air, cools air, or distributes fresh air throughout the building. So then the actual components of the system will be a centralized unit that either heats or cools, and then ductwork that distributes it, and then we've got diffusers that will distribute that air into the building space. So the first set of items we need to understand are the actual components of the system. So these are the things that generate or cool air, and we have chillers that cool things, we've got boilers that heat things, and we've got cooling towers and air handling units that do a combination of the both. Most large commercial buildings will have large air handling units that both can be used as both heaters and coolers, but some buildings may have specific boilers or chillers as standalone systems. We also have fan coil units, which can be think of as smaller, localized heaters or coolers. This hot or cold air is then distributed through the building through ductwork. So ductwork is simple, it can be rectangular or circular, but it is metal casing that contains the air. And then when the ductwork ties into a building space, we will have either diffusers or grills that act as almost like a vent cover to the ductwork. The other component of the system that is important to understand is the actual building management system. So this is typically referred to as the HVAC electrical system or mechanical electrical system, but this is the comms and controls that tells certain things when to turn off, when to turn on, connects to the meters and the control panels in different rooms, basically runs the entire building system. So this, when we talk about doing a takeoff for a building management system, that would fall under the category of an electrical takeoff. So I'm just going to be talking about the actual core components and counting those, and then deriving the ductwork. Okay, so the basic process of performing a quantity takeoff is step one, you need to determine what you are actually going to be measuring. Now, when we're talking about what we'd measure when we do a mechanical takeoff, really it's going to be counting the core components of the system. So the air handling units, the fan coil units, which will be a count sort of takeoff, and then the linear measurements of ductwork and condensate pipe. They are our two primary measurements. All of the secondary components of the system, like the number of hangers, fixings, secondary items, we derive from these primary linear measurements. Okay, so if you're not familiar with the concept of an assembly is basically a ratio of a primary quantity to a secondary quantity. So the primary quantity might be something you count on the drawings, like the number of fan coil units. Our secondary items are all the secondary measurements we derive from the primary quantity. So for example, if we count one fan coil unit, we obviously need one fan coil unit. We need one mounting bracket. We need one ceiling access panel. We need 1.5 meters of duct to connect to this. We need 2 chilled water flexible connections. We need 1 control valve, 1 strainer, and so on and so forth. So basically what we do here is we have a primary unit, which we're counting, and then all of these secondary items, rather than measuring all of them specifically or counting them all separately, we only have our one primary unit that we count, and all of these secondary items get derived from the primary quantity. Now, some people, when they're doing a quantity takeoff, will only talk about the actual bill of materials, or you might want to derive a full bill of quantities, which also includes your labor and plant. So for example, if you have one fan coil unit, you might need 2.5 man hours of a mechanical fitter to install that. So for every fan coil unit we count, we then have 2.5 hours of labor from a mechanical fitter. We have 1.5 hours of a pipe fitter to connect the piping. We have 0.5 hours of insulation work, and we have 1 hour of electrician to come and connect up the electrical power to it. So it really depends how you want to do it and what your goal of doing the quantity takeoff is. If you're doing a quantity takeoff for procurement, you're obviously not interested in the total number of labor hours. You're much more interested in accurately measuring all of these secondary quantities. But if you want to build a full construction estimate, then yes, you'd want to derive these labor quantities from your primary quantity. But if you're doing a conceptual estimate and it's early on in the project, you might not care about the different types of fan coil units, whether it's ceiling exposed or ceiling recessed, and the minor differences in secondary quantities. So you might group some of these things together. It's really important to understand the purpose of the takeoff and whether you want something very specific, very detailed, a very detailed bill of materials for procurement, or whether you're just doing a conceptual fast estimate and you're happy to group more things together, whether you want to include labor and plant or this, or whether you're doing this just for materials. Now, the other thing worth noting is most mechanical drawings will include a mechanical schedule, which will be a schedule of the specific items within the scope of the project. They often won't give you the lineal meters of ductwork, but they will give you a count of the number of air handling units, fan coil units, or major bits of plant and equipment. So in that instance, we don't even have to count these items. We can simply go to the schedule and derive them. So for example, this set of drawings gives us the mechanical motor list. I'll just close that so we got more space. It gives us the mechanical motor list. It gives us the number of air handling units. It gives us the number of air conditioning units. It gives us the number of diffusers and grills. It gives us the number of heat recovery ventilators, fans, and so on and so forth. So we don't actually have to go through the drawings to drive these. For all our unit counts and our primary equipment, we can simply use this list. So the other thing you can see is on the actual layout drawings, it is showing all the electrical connections for the building management system, and it is giving references to each of these specific units. So HRV2, if we go back to the mechanical schedule, we go to heat recovery ventilators, HRV2, that is a reference to the heat recovery ventilator. So these layout plans are simply referencing these schedules. Other thing worth noting is that, again, it depends a little bit on the purpose of the takeoff, but if we're talking about condensate pipe, which might be like a couple of dollars a meter, this sort of minor consumable installation, I would not go and do linear measurements of all of these items. I would include that in the assembly for this specific AC unit. Because at the end of the day, whether you're doing this for procurement or whether you're doing this to prepare an estimate, at the same time someone goes and installs this, they'll also install that refrigerant line. So it doesn't really make sense to go get detailed linear measurements of each of these individual items. Your actual labor, plant, materials is all going to be more or less correct if you simply count or take this number from the schedule rather than actually going a linear measurement for all this. So when we're talking about what to measure, most of these sort of conduit, these small items where you'd have 3 or 4 meters per individual fitting. If we're talking about the actual BMS system and the cabling for that, again, you could just derive that rather than going and actually measuring out exactly how many meters of cable this is. You could just derive that from the number of units. Okay, so once we work out what we need to measure, I'm going to do 2 simple examples. I'm going to do a count item. Again, this is a bit redundant because the quantities are actually given in the schedule, but to prove a point, I'll do a count measurement and I'll do a linear measurement of ductwork. So really, those would be the 2 primary things we'd be measuring. Everything else we would be deriving from our secondary quantities. Okay, for our count item, let's do the number of air handling units. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to set up our assembly. So to set up an assembly, I'm using ZZ Takeoff, but honestly, like all the takeoff tools are very similar. ZZ Takeoff is just one I like. So we set up a new count, which is, let's call it air handling units. It's a point count. And then the first item will be material, which is the actual AHU itself. Then we will have the, let's call this the flexible ductwork connections. And we're going to have 2 per item. So it'll be the number we count multiplied by 2. Will allow for again, 6 meters of ductwork, which would be 6 meters of ductwork within that will allow for a, let's call that, let's say power cabling, will allow for 10 meters of power cabling to connect it. It's going to be meters. I should have fixed that. So it's meters. Now, really, obviously, this is going to be very specific to the actual item you're counting. We're going to need, let's add this as a labor. We'll call this mechanical fitter. It's going to be, say, 8 hours. So 2 guys for 4 hours to install. Put that as man hours. And then we're going to need a crane. It's going to be 4 hours to install. Then I can simply go to the drawings and I count all the air handling units, if I can find them, which they're going to be on the roof, which is, there's one, 1, 2, 3, and you can see from my primary quantity, it's told me I need 3 air handling units, 6 flexible duct connections, 18 meters of ductwork, 30 meters of power cabling, 24 man hours of a mechanical fitter to install them, and 12 hours of a crane. Now, again, that was an oversimplistic assembly, but really you could build more complicated assemblies like this, where you have 20 secondary quantities derived from a primary quantity. You could make them precisely specific to exactly how you want to measure your quantities. And you could even do some samples. Say you had 20 air handling units, you could go measure 1 or 2 of them, and to get the average amount of ductwork per air handling unit and make these more accurate and specific to your project. Okay, the next example I want to do is a linear meter measurement, which is going to be ductwork. So we're going to create a new linear measurement. Let's call that ductwork, but it's ductwork 14-inch by 12-inch. It's going to be a flat linear, but we can also get linear with height if we're doing ceiling transitions. Okay, so I want to create my secondary item. So the primary one is obviously just going to be the same as the length, but it is going to be our actual ductwork. (12-inch), and let's say we can only get it in certain lengths, or we want to allow for certain wastage. We can put 5% wastage on that. Units are going to be meters. The next one is we need a hanger every 2 meters. So we want to get, let's call this ductwork hanger. We want the linear meters divided by 2 because we're doing 1 every 2 meters. And again, we want 5% wastage on our number of hangers. The next one is, let's say, where did that go? You go material, joints. We have a joint every 1.2 meters. So we divide that by 1.2, round up to the nearest 1 because it's going to have to be a unit. Then we want a insulation, and we're going to need 2 meters squared per linear meter. Again, depending on the size of your duct, you obviously want to make these specific. And let's call on insulation 10% wastage. And we also need point for labor. We want mechanical fitter, the linear meters times 0.35, because it's 0.35 man hours per linear meter. And that is going to be man hours. And we also want a EWP, which again is going to match the labor productivity. And that is going to be hours. We can start the takeoff, and then we simply, again, very complicated, we just measure the lengths of that specific type of ductwork. Is there any other? Just these sections. And that is larger ductwork. So it'd be a separate measurement. For the actual number of diffusers and the building penetrations, we could do a count measurement for that. And again, that's pretty much it. Work out what you need to measure, build your library of assemblies, and then either you count the items or just derive them from the schedule and get your linear measurements of ductwork and derive all your secondary quantities. Very simple, very straightforward. It's not rocket science. It's just understanding this principle of having your primary and your secondary quantities.